This is Howard Mechanic. I just want to go over some of the things I've learned with the Bird app. Downloaded the Bird app probably 2-3 weeks ago. Took about 2-3 weeks to get the damn chargers in. They finally sent me the fucking chargers. Downloaded the app. One of the first things I'd say is, the app's hell. I had a hell of a time getting the app to work correctly. But I finally got it to work, half-ass. And I went out and got some of them bitches, to make a long story short. And I'm going to tell you how I did it and what I learned about it. This video is going to be the truth about getting scooters. Doesn't matter if it's Bird, Lime, and there's several other brands depending on where you live at. Depending on where you live at, their program may be different or they may have a different pay structure, but it's all the same shit. Okay, you're trying to get these fucking scooters, you're putting them back in the truck, you're taking them home, or your car, whatever the hell you're doing. Taking them home, you're charging them, and then you're returning them usually back to the core of the city. Regardless of where you picked it up at, they're having you deliver it exactly where they want it in the core of the city by their outdated GPS system. And that's all of them. That's not just Bird. Mine just had to be Bird. I signed up for Lime too, but I'm just still waiting on chargers. And I don't know if I'll fuck with it at this point. The Bird, I'll just mess with this shit. I'm already messing with it. In my particular area, there's probably more Lime scooters than Bird. So if you're a volume guy or gal, that Lime's probably going to be the way to go. They're a little bit better merchandise too. All the Lime scooters in my area are pretty much all the same unit, and I'll go into more on that later. But one thing I learned is I got the app, downloaded it. I was real curious about it, just being a mechanic. I was just kind of curious about how they work, about the batteries. I got a bunch of kids. I love scooters and ATVs and all that shit myself too. So what I looked at is I go get these damn scooters. I'll charge them. I could use the extra money. Just being a mechanic, generally when I need extra money, I throw the gas compression in the back to fucking pickup truck and a bunch of wrenches back there, and I go chase nuts and bolts, and generally cash, and that's usually what I do. Just burnt out with it. I'm 40 years old, burnt out fucking with that shit. I could never see a wrench again and be 100% satisfied, to be honest with you. But, I've had a couple of friends do Uber and Lyft. I had kind of considered that. Everybody I've known that's done Uber and Lyft, they were lucky if they broke even on it, putting 30, 40,000 miles a year on their fucking car. It's just bullshit. As a mechanic, it's good for me. There's some of my best customers, So, I see both sides of it. Decided to do the scooters, kind of in the back of my mind thinking I'd probably do less driving. I don't own any fuel-efficient vehicles. I don't live in the city. I live out in the last little patch of woods outside the city of Austin. And so, I said I'm going to do the scooter thing. I'm somewhat familiar with it. So I downloaded the app, waited forever, got the damn chargers finally, Let me go over some of that too. So, when you sign up with them, obviously you're a contract labor, basically. So you are going to pay taxes on this bitch at the end of the year. If you don't, IRS is going to come get you and take everything you got and all that shit. So keep that in mind whenever you're cashing the check or when they're depositing the check. One thing I liked about Bird compared to some of the other services is Bird does pay you every day, and I will confirm on their defense that damn near every day, about 8:05, 8:15, whatever, whether it's 2 cents or whether it's $100, they do pay every day. And like most of us blue-collar people out there living paycheck to paycheck, Christmas around the corner, having the cash daily is good news. I can't get enough fucking cash in the bank account, to be honest with you. So there's a huge benefit there. I don't know if Lime does that and the other ones do. I'm just telling you what Scooter does. So I got the damn app downloaded. It took me a long time to get the app to work right. I'll be honest, just sent emails back and forth. One downside to Bird, there's no customer service. There's no 1-800 number to call. You can send them emails and shit. Take about 2 days to get an email back. I'm not sure if the people that are getting your emails or even in this country or speak English, the way they email back, the way they word things, it seems like one of those scam emails, from somewhere on the other side of the world. You're not sure if you should respond or click on anything they send you, but they did respond, half-assed, and it took me probably 2 weeks to get the app to start working right. When I did, quote-unquote, become a charger, they tell you to, reset your phone 100 times, get the app on and off, on all the shit, So I finally got it to work, half-assed. In my point of view, I didn't want to go out and just do some half-ass shit. I kind of wanted to investigate on it before I don't like doing anything half-ass. So before I went out there and just started throwing these bitches in the back of my truck, because you were giving your credit card as a deposit on these things. So, and I may be wrong, but I want to say it was about $1,000 a hit. So keep that in mind. I wouldn't recommend putting your main bank account card number as your primary source of giving them access to your primary source of income. You know, you got your fucking mortgage coming out, and then 2 scooters fall out of the back of your truck. You know, next thing you know, bank coming to get your shit. So, you know, go down and get Money Box or wherever the hell it is, Walmart, some shit, get you one of those prepaid cards, throw $2, $3 on it. I don't know. Can't remember if they hit you for $1, just check you. They do send the chargers for free. They did, in my case, they sent me the chargers for free. Sent me 3 of them, which isn't shit. You're not going to do shit with three chargers. But make a long story short, you know, the first night I went out, I got the damn app and all that shit. Chargers hit. They did send them FedEx. Wife says chargers came in. So that night I went out, pretty much the way you do a repo. I went out just scouting. Turn the app on, see where the hell these damn things are, go look at them. And I had a couple things I was interested in. Number one is what kind of people are looking for these, what kind of vehicles do they have, and this is going to be your competition. So I wanted to go see what the hell's going on out there, get out on the streets. You know, it's generally after 9 o'clock you're picking these things up. You could pick them up at any time, but for the most part, it's generally going to be after 9 o'clock that you're getting these things, and I'll kind of go into some of that later. But I did go out there. You know, I turned the app on, saw some of them. You know, I went out there, and I didn't have any intention of picking any up, you know, commit to it yet. So I went out and looked. There's a lot of people out there doing it. I was kind of surprised, you know, competition-wise. I don't know how much actual competition there is. There are some serious people out there getting these things. When I say that, there's teams of people, especially in the downtown area, with several pickup trucks. These aren't idiots. These are people that have this down to an art. They're picking up hundreds of these things at a time, which I had planned on doing if I was in, and I might still, if I'm gonna do it wholeheartedly. It's not worth anything to me if it's not gonna be $5,000-$6,000 a month. You know, I don't want to do anything half-assed. I don't need an extra $12 a day to do shit for me. But, you know, that's how you get to start to get more chargers, at least for free. You know, if you were serious about doing this shit, go out, get on eBay in China and get about 50 of these fucking things coming. But I'll go into more of that later. But with the 3 chargers, you know, I went out there and scouting. And one of the main questions I had is, you know, there's a little bit of fake advertising and misleading information on it. You know, whenever you download the app and the sales rep contacts you and gives you the pep talk of, you know, let's get out there and get these bitches and all that shit. You know, they really push there's a bunch of $20 ones out there. And I saw some other YouTube videos, which prompted me to make this YouTube video. People out there going and getting these things, you know, they're getting $16 a piece, $12 a piece, $20 a piece, and all this. I don't know where the hell that's at, folks. You know, maybe in California there's just a bunch of $20 bills laying out in the streets. I don't know. Here in Texas, we don't play like that. There ain't a bunch of $20 bills laying out in the street. You could be a fucking millionaire and you see a dollar bill floating in the grass out there. You know, you damn near roll your car over to pull over and pick that damn thing up, you know. So there's a lot of fake news there. I did find a couple of $20 ones on my app, and it made me real curious about it. So I discovered a couple things about their app. I'm gonna let you know if this is your first time, go out and look at them. Watch this. I hope you're watching this damn video if you're wasting a bunch of time. So first day I just went out scouting, just kind of seeing what other people are doing, what other people are driving. You know, saw a lot of Priuses out there. Saw a lot of just small SUVs out there. It'd probably hold 4, 5, 6 of these damn things. I don't know what they're doing out there with these things, but you know, why you probably get $3 a piece, you can get a couple of them. I would probably say 99% of the ones you're going to pick up are going to be $3. Hypothetically, you stumble across something better. You know, I did get some $5 ones. Don't get me wrong. These generally are ones that are 0% charged and held to charge, and I'll go into some of that for you too. And that's some of the scam with it. But you know, I went out there, scoped it out. You know, the first night. Didn't do anything. Second night, same thing. I kind of went out scouting, and the second night I intentionally just went and scouted the $20 ones, the ones that are worth fucking with, you know. So I went around scouting these, you know, these $20 ones, and you know, never found any of them, of course. Wasted $20 in gas driving around looking for them. Of course, I'm in a 3/4 ton pickup truck, folks, getting 10 miles a gallon, you know, which that's another issue in itself. But I went out there looking for these damn things. Well, you might as well be looking for a leprechaun, okay? The odds you're going to find a $21 Slim. And I learned a couple things about their app that'll help you on this. If you go down to the, I'm going to put some pictures in here for you. If you go down to the right corner of your app, when you're in charger mode, you'll notice that there is 2 little slide bar emblems down there on the bottom. This would be the filter for the app. Go ahead and click on that, folks, and you'll notice that you're looking for, according to the preset filters from Bird, you are looking for every damn scooter they're looking for. You know, we've been missing 10 years of looking for it, you know. So when you get to that filter, I personally was doing 2 days. I don't even look for a scooter that no one's ridden in 2 days or no one has noticed in 2 days, personally. So, you know, just for grins, I did notice a couple new ones pop up, you know, a couple of these $20 ones, $16 whatever. And at this point, I'm not picking them up yet. So I ran out there just like everybody else did, and I just kind of posted up, you know, to see how many people are also looking for just $20 ones, or, you know, how quick are people going to respond to a quote-unquote $20 one. And I was shocked, folks. It's a shit ton of fucking people, man. You know, you're out there out in the middle of fucking nowhere on a one-way road with no outlet, no U-turn, no nothing, you know, and there's a fucking train of cars coming down this fucking road looking for this $20 app, you know, and people peeling out all pissed off it ain't there, you know, like it's some kind of rocket science that you're going to be the only ones looking for a $20 app, you know, a $20 bird out there, you know. So, you know, that's some of that goes with that $20 one. In my opinion, don't go look for those. The only reason I could see, or way I could see that it would be financially beneficial at all to be looking for the $20 ones, $16 ones is, one, you're doing this all damn day. In my case, I have a full 60-hour-a-week job, you know, 7 to 7, pretty much 6 days a week. So, for, you know, if you're out there just like probably 99% of most people that are watching this, you're just trying to make some extra cash for Christmas. You're trying to put something together. You know, you got something going on. And you know, you just want to try something different. I met quite a few people on the street doing this. Some people are complete assholes. A lot of people are standoffish about it, you know, territorial about it in some respects. And I'm not like that. You know, I had quite a few people approach me, you know, even though it was my first, second day when I actually was picking them up. And, you know, I was trying to get as much information from them as I can. You know, how much are you making? You know, that kind of stuff. And I shared that information myself, you know, what success I've had with it. Because we're all blue-collar people out here trying to make a living, folks. You know, there's a billion fucking scooters out there. And, you know, you're out there arm wrestling over one of them. You know, it doesn't make any damn sense. But I went out there looking for them. And, you know, I did find them. They weren't too hard to find. The app's pretty accurate as far as picking them up. Dropping them off is a whole nother story, and I might go into some of that for you too. But as far as picking them up, the app's pretty accurate. You know, you'll find them within a couple of feet, to be honest with you, as far as them sitting on the corner in their drop-off spots, which are mostly bus stations. So a plus and a minus to them are you can usually see them, the cheap ones anyways. You can usually see the $3, $4, $5 ones just driving by. You'll see them. Your app will light them up as you drive by, which is pretty clever. Until you're trying to charge them, and the app's going off in your, you know, in your garage, and the damn thing's beeping out there, and the lights are on while you're trying to charge it, drawing the battery down, which is another thing I'll bring up later. But sure enough, you know, third, fourth day after scouting, I'm like, you know, I'm gonna go get some of these things. I only have 3 chargers, so, you know, there's no use to get a whole pickup truck, you know. So I went out there, and one thing I was kind of curious about, just being a mechanic and looking at the big picture and an entrepreneur at heart, is I was kind of curious how long it actually takes to charge these things. You know, how many chargers would it take to actually make any damn money on this? They only send you 3 of them, and I understand their side of it. They're sending you $1,000 worth of chargers, you know, every time someone signs up for it. You know, it doesn't make sense. So they kind of feed you along a little bit. Generally, after about a week, they'll send you 3 more, and, you know, I'm up to about 12 chargers now. But we first starting off, you get 3 damn chargers, you know. So I went out there just as an amateur. Didn't talk to anybody. I watched a couple of YouTube videos, you know, and learned some information about the YouTube from the YouTube videos about, got some good pointers on it. I thought some of them were lacking a little bit of real information on how to hustle this shit. You know, I saw a couple of them out there about how to scam and stuff like that. I'm not with that. I just go out and make it legit, or I don't want to fuck with it, you know. That's just the way I live my life. So third, fourth day after scouting and kind of looking into it a little bit, I went out and got, I can't remember, I went and got 5, 6, 7 of them, like 15 minutes, man. I mean, I went and got some. I had to drive around a little bit. I made a mistake the first day I went out looking for them, kind of like I see other people doing. Unfortunately, some of them I've seen doing it for weeks at a time when I've been out messing with this thing, but they're out there driving in circles looking for these things as they pop up on your screen. Pretty much like some other people said, you can pick these up throughout the day. My experience is they're harder to find during the day. You know, look at it from the business point of view, whether it's Bird or anybody else, they want these son of a bitches on the street. You know, they want people riding these fucking things. Usually when they're available during the day, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, one pops up, it's available, they give you $5, you'll go get it. That son of a bitch is out of battery, folks. And it's in these 6 to 8 hours to charge that thing. I don't know what they're advertising. I can't remember what it was. It's 6 to 8 hours. I've done some research on it, and I'll put some of the pictures in here. So, you know, at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, one of these birds pop up at an intersection at the bus stop, and you're like, oh, badass, I'll just go pick up this bird, you know, it's free money, you know. You're going to pick up something that's dead. It's completely dead, or otherwise they wouldn't have released it for pickup. Or it's in some weird spot that, you know, no one's going to rent it where it is, or use their app where it is. It's not in walking distance to anywhere. So, you know, someone drove it, you know, like I would have. I had a kid. We didn't have these when I was a kid. If I had a kid, I'd been all over the fucking place in these things. I've been ramping the ditches in these things and all kind of shit. And that's where they are, you know, usually at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So you go out at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you pick one of these up. You know, they're real hit and miss in my area. I'll put some pictures up here. I've taken a lot of screenshots just doing some research on it. You know, in the middle of the day, you know, they're available in the morning too, but for the most part, 9 o'clock, about 9:05 to be exact, in my particular area, and that's with a good phone, that they'll start popping up in bulk. So Once 9 o'clock pops around, but anyway, go back. Like I said, I drove around, looked for them. The first day or two, I'm driving a circle. I only had 3 chargers, so it didn't matter. 15 minutes, I went and picked a couple of them up to them back truck. Quite a bit of competition, people driving around, getting them and stuff like that. I'm real familiar with the South Austin area, so I know how to get to them quick. I know which ones are just out of my distance. If you can't get to it in about 5 to 7 minutes, it's gone. There's somebody, at least in the South Austin area, there's quite a few people doing it, and if that thing's been exposed for more than about 5 minutes, it's gone. Third, fourth day, 2 days I picked them up. I brought 3 or 4 of them home, something like that. I charged them a couple hours. They were done next day. Here's the benefit of being an older, if you want to call it that, an older individual is you're actually going to get up early and take these things out, which kind of takes some of the ways of making money of it off. Technically you're not going to get these in bulk till 9 o'clock. You can probably get as many as you want if you use your damn head, but the problem is you have to have them dropped off by 7 a.m. and in my particular case, I don't live in the city. I work in the city, pretty much sun up, sun down. So my game plan was, at least temporarily, is I'm going to the city every day anyway. I get up 5 o'clock in the morning anyways. I live in a rural area. So I wasn't going to, I don't have a problem getting up and dropping them off early in the morning. I have more problem staying up late getting them than I do getting up early. But you go ahead and go out there, you have to get up pretty early, and I'll go into some of that later. You better get pretty early, you get 30, 40 of them back to the truck, which I've done, and you better get up early, and I'll explain some of that too to you. But I got up 5 o'clock in the morning like I normally do. I charged 4, 5, 6 of them, something like that. I threw them back truck, took them back into town, dropped them off exactly where they want you to drop them off, which is something I don't like about the app as far as you're prisoner to those things. Once you pick one of those things up, scan it with your phone, by contract, you own that bitch. And I can't remember with some ridiculous amount of money, they're 500 piece, $1,000 piece, some ridiculous amount of money, you own those things. And you can't release one. And that's something I didn't like about the app. Just to mention that, if Bird's watching this, and anybody else, is something they really ought to change, because it was once or twice there where I only had one in the truck, and for whatever reason, it was broke. I picked some up that were just broken. I didn't realize till I had already scanned it that this thing, they need to come pick this thing up and fix it or something like that, and they wouldn't let me release it. Once you scan it and you're in possession of that thing, you cannot release that thing out of your possession, except till 4 to 7 o'clock in the morning. You have to release it at that time. Whether it's upside down, that's the time that you're going to have to release that thing. And I didn't like that for a lot of different reasons, But anyways, I went and dropped them off in the morning, dropped 3 or 4 or 5, 6 of these things off. Forgot how many. First 2 days I just picked up a couple at a time just to experiment with it. Mostly I want to experiment with the charging of them, so I was intentionally getting some that were 0% battery, getting some that are 99% battery, and that type of thing. I want to experiment with how long they take to charge, just as a business aspect of it. So we dropped them off, 3, 4. I will say this about Bird, about 8:15 or so, the money hit. They do pay every day and they pay on time. At least at the beginning they did. So I went out and got a couple of these. They say they deposit $12-15, some bullshit. I spent that in gas just fucking with these people. But I finally decided after about 2 or 3 days, I'm gonna get some of these damn things. A buddy of mine gave me 3 more chargers he had, so I had 6 chargers. And I'd done some experimenting with the batteries as far as how long they take to charge on charts. I've done some research on them. In my garage. For business reasons, I just see how long it takes to charge, which ones are worth getting, and I'll go into some of that too, just free information. So then I went up there and got 20 or 30 of these things back truck. I did some research, folks. This is something I'm going to suggest to you. Don't just go out there driving around. I see people, that's not what I did. When you look at your app, when you're in the charger mode, you can actually slide that little bar back over and go back into ride mode. I've never ridden one before this, but and act like you're a customer, like you want to go ride one of these, and that's what I did. I switched back over to the rider mode and see where all these some bitches are, hypothetically, if I want to go ride one. And I found the concentration of them. Took about 2 damn seconds, folks. I printed this shit out on a printer where all these motherfuckers are right before 9 o'clock, and at 9 o'clock I know where 1,000 of them are, and I went and posted up in a convenient spot to me. I'm in a big ass pickup truck, so I'm not gonna be able to go into the core of the city. I did just for experiment reasons for some future videos, but for the very beginning I said I'm gonna go to the places I'm familiar with. You could just and I'll be honest with you, by 9:05 hits, by 9:25, 9:30 I had more than I could charge. I had 20, 30 of these things in the back truck, took them home. That's when I really started discovering the charging aspect of them. I get them back to the house. Intentionally got an array of them, 1% ones and 99% ones. And that's where some of the money comes into play at this thing. At 9 o'clock, it's free for all, folks. At 9 o'clock, you'll see a $6 one at 8:30 right across the street from you. And I did this, just posted up on it, just to kind of see how it works. I was sitting across the street from one at $6. It has 0% battery. It's $6 sitting across the street. 9 o'clock hits, it goes immediately from $6 to $3 because they know there's so many available that somebody's gonna drop by and just pick it up because there's 2 or 3 of them next to it. You know, it's easy to, and I do that too, by the way. You stop at a bus stop, there's 10 of them there. Don't grab one. Your instinct tells you grab 10 of those. The more the better. That's just human nature. And I did that too for different reasons. But I went, I came home 20 or 30 of those things. I only have 6 chargers. I didn't get any more than that I could have. To be honest with you, if you use your head, it's not impossible at all to have 50, 60 of these things back truck in an hour. I went by 9:25, 9:30, I was done. I had 20, 30 in the back truck, and I drove home and started experimenting with charging. The sooner you can get home and start charging, the better when you don't have a shit ton of chargers. And so I started charging them. Out of the 20 of them, I was able to charge, 10 of them 100%. The other ones I weren't able to charge all the way, and that's when I kind of discovered the 0% ones. Anything below 20, even below 40%, really, I don't even grab those anymore, folks. I'll kind of go into some of that for you. So at 9 o'clock, it's free for all. There's a billion of them available. You gotta use your head. You go out and get these things on back truck, car, whatever, riding them. I see people on foot in the city. When I went in the city, in the core of the city, there's nowhere to park. There's nowhere in the core of the city to take a 3/4 ton pickup truck, or much less anything to park. I took a 3/4 ton pickup truck down there, and in the core of the city, being on foot's the way to go, and I did that too. And I'm gonna do a video about being on foot. A little bit harder. I'm not used to walking around like that, but I went and got some, a bunch of them, 20 or 30 of them quick. Because there's just more of a concentration of them on every corner. They're spread out, a little bit out of the core of the city. They're at bus stops for the most part, and they're 5 or 10 deep. And you got a pickup truck, you drive up there until 5 in the back of the truck originally. So I took them back to the house, 20 of them. I charged them, took them back next day. Got up a little bit earlier because you got 20 of them, and you have destinations you have to drop them off. Each destination, they may only allow 3 at each bus stop, for example. Well, you get 20 or 30 of those in the back truck, that means you're going to be going to 10 or 15 bus stations, and everybody else is too. So, you think you have your game plan set up that I'm going to stop here, here, and here on the way to work. It don't work like that at all. Everybody else has the same damn game plan. And kind of like I found on day or 2 or 3, I ended up having to go way deep into the core of the city. We had like 20 or 30 of these fucking things. And when I got in the bad thing about the core of the city is for the most part, they're not necessarily dropping 10 off in each corner. You may be dropping 2 off at each corner of one-way street and all this shit. Nowhere to park, no short, it's just the way the city is. There's no infrastructure down there. All the politicians took our fucking money and built bike lanes with it, with no bikes down there. So anyways, after a couple of days of getting 20 or 30, I'm not making that much money. You take 20 or 30 of them, you only have 6 chargers. At the max, you get a bunch of 0% birds, folks. That thing's gonna take all night. It takes 6 to 8 hours. So you get home at 10 o'clock. Let's say you gotta leave at 5 o'clock, because they have to be dropped off at 7 o'clock. They weren't Nazis about this. I did drop some off. At one time, I got stuck down in the city with these things. I was dropping these things off at that point, like 7:15, 7:20. I just hadn't planned on going into the core of the city on Tuesday at 7 o'clock in the opposite direction of where I need to be, which is my main place of employment, which I wouldn't recommend burning that place over this bullshit, unless you're going to do it and be serious about it, which is some of the reason I investigated this. But anyways, one thing I learned that I was more successful about, I got to the point after about a week to where I did my usual thing, find out where they are. They're not always in the same places. One thing I learned this the hard way to some extent, or to my surprise, to where it depends on what day of the week is, folks. If there's some kind of concert going on downtown or something like that, the ones that are a little bit outside of downtown that I would normally get because I'm in a pickup truck, guess what? There's not that many of them on the outskirts of town. All these hipsters got on those damn things and drove them into the city. Now that the city is heavily concentrated with those things, but guess what? There ain't no way to get to them, except for on foot, and I did that too. So you kind of want to get your game plan ahead of time. But I went down there. I got 20, 30 of them, and I got to the point where I was only trying to get 50% ones or above, and that's when the only time I made 60, 70 bucks or some bullshit, because I went down there and I was only, when I walk up to a bus station, I'm like, wherever the hell these things are, and there's 5 of them sitting there just hypothetically, I would only get the ones that are 45% or above. I mean, literally, I'd be standing there, and there's 2 99% ones or whatever, 50% one, and 3 2% ones. I just leave those 2 3% ones there, folks, and let someone else fuck with those damn things, because by the time I only have 6 chargers, folks, and if I got to charge that thing in 6 to 8 hours for that $3, that I'm not gonna make any money on that. Versus picking up 20 or 30. Let's say 80% ones, just hypothetically, those will take about an hour, 2 hours to charge. And, I can flip more birds. You get $3 a piece, whether it's 1% or whether it's 99%. I got to the point where I was just getting 90% ones, and I had the best success doing that. They're harder to find, but at one point when I'm only getting myself, I'm only getting 20, I'm only getting 6 chargers. I just go get 80% ones above it, 80% or above, unless it's the end of the night and I just need a couple more. I wouldn't get them anymore. At the beginning I wanted to experiment with how long they take to charge, and it's not unrealistic to say a very low battery one could take you literally 6 hours to charge, and some of these batteries, just being a mechanic, you can't bring them back to life once they're 1%. It's kind of like your car, folks. You go out to your car in the morning and it has 2% battery life, and you go to get it, put your key in it, go to work, that damn thing ain't even gonna click, lights ain't gonna come on. That son of a bitch is dead. And like most dead batteries, whether it's in your car or in a hybrid vehicle or it just happens to be in these scooters, the odds that you're going to bring that thing back to 100% life is slim, and you're not going to make any money if you can't bring these back to 100% life. They give you a prorated value. I had a bunch of them, folks, just experimenting with it. That I had plugged in 6-8 hours, 1% ones, and the few that I was able to get to, and I'm going to show you some pictures in here, the few that I was able to get to 100%, pretty much as soon as you unplug that charger, went down to 90%. The battery just, it's either top charging it, not really familiar with what kind of batteries they have in them, but it's just basically doing a top charge. I had some that I had fully charged. I had to plug at midnight to plug another one in, and by 3-4 hours later at 4 in the morning, I go out there and I look on my app on my phone, that thing's 80% battery. It just lost it. That's for one, because they have a draw on them, because the fucking lights stay on them. I have no idea why, as a charger, when you pick these things up, the lights are staying on, they're chirping and doing all this shit. So there's a parasitic draw on them. Just go ahead and leave your dome light and your radio on tonight when you go put your car in the garage, and see how well that works out tomorrow morning on your battery life. And that's the way these are, folks. And that's something I noticed right away. So went and got these damn things, started getting them in bulk, One problem that I had is their app's glitchy, man. When I got downtown with their apps to drop these things off, that's the biggest problem that I had. Especially when I got down in the few times I've had to go down, a couple of times just to experiment with it, I get down in that core of that city, folks, and these things are trash, man. Their app's trash. You go try to drop these things off, I had a couple of times, when you go to drop one off, it actually has a picture of exactly where they want it dropped off, and usually it's a picture that someone else has taken, or a generic picture or GPS location. You're standing there trying to drop this damn thing off, folks. You're exactly where it wants you to be, exactly where they want you to put this damn thing, but their actual app is telling you it needs to be half a block down the road, So I kind of experiment with this, sometimes up to 20 minutes. And I did have some success manipulating the system a little bit to where, I'd be standing where they want this damn thing to go, and, their app's telling me to take a kitty corner half a block down the road, knowing that's not the place to be, So originally I was grabbing the damn bird and taking it down there where, their app is telling me they want it just by GPS location or Wi-Fi location. And, I'd scan the bird there just to get the damn thing to process me, to get kind of like going back to you're stuck with that damn thing just to release that damn thing. So, you get on with your day, because, you got to be done by 7 o'clock. You got 20 or 30 of these things in the back truck, and, you start spending 5-10 minutes a piece with these things. You can burn 2-3 hours just trying to drop damn things off, as far as just messing with their app. And that's the problem that I ran into. So making a long story short, I did have some success of having to manipulate the system that way. I would finally scan the damn thing. Once you scan it, then they actually want you to take a picture of it, of you leaving it in their particular location. So that's what I would have to do. I'd actually, at some points they want me to, according to their GPS locations, they want me to take it out in the middle of a fucking intersection, is where their app is telling me by GPS location is where to leave this damn thing, which obviously, folks, you're leaving it out in the middle of the damn intersection. So I'd have to manipulate the system to scan it on the barcode or enter the ID. I had the best luck just entering the serial number off the damn thing. Luckily they have that option, because they have one of these scan bars, but I didn't have very much success with it. Their app, it's not my phone. And before you leave a rude comment down there, I'm down there with an iPhone 8, folks. I'm not down there with a flip phone, with a hinge on it, smoke signals, and so that's the way that works. But I had some success manipulating the system. It's just the way it is. You get down there by all that concrete and steel, in some of their defense, it could be hard to get a GPS location down there. These GPSs work the same way as cars do, that they put on when they're tracking vehicles, and that's the way it works, folks. You're tracking a vehicle and it pulls into a parking garage, folks. It doesn't know where it is. It knows it's in the parking garage. It doesn't know if it's on the first floor, 10th floor, it's in the cellar, it's in the air conditioning vents, in the trash can behind the back, someone's hoarding it in their, on their patio. They don't know, folks. And that's kind of what happens when you're trying to drop them off too, so keep that in mind. And so, I would drop them off, didn't make very much money at it, folks, to be honest with you. Like I said, I just experiment with this. I'm going to continue to do it. This is not a hit piece, by the way, if anybody's wondering. This isn't a hit piece on, but I continue to see, they have some issues with their app. Their app really makes it hard to make money, if that makes any sense. Some of the technical errors, and I'm not an IT guy, but I got some damn common sense. Some of the way their app is set up makes it hard to make money. It's kind of dangerous in some respects. One thing I like about when you drop them off, you're able to claim, quote unquote, claim where you're going to drop them off. Let's say you're going to drop them off in the morning and you blow your app up and say, hey, we're going to drop this damn thing off. There's going to be 100 options all over the damn place, and when you click on one, it reserves that for 30 minutes for you. You have 30 minutes to get to that damn place and drop that off, or you lose that spot and someone else can claim it. So I did like that. I kind of wish they had that as far as picking them up too. Why is everybody racing to the same damn thing? It doesn't make sense to me. You should be able to claim one. For example, one's closest to me, I claim it. I say, hey, I got 5 minutes to be, whatever it is, I got 10 minutes to be there. Instead of you got 15 people racing to go get this damn thing. It doesn't make any sense, and it's really not good for the people actually going to pick them up. Not doing them any favors, all driving around in circles and shit. They don't do Lyft and Uber like that. Someone pings and say, hey, I'm down here at the bar, I need a ride home, and every Lyft and Uber driver in town starts racing over there, and the first one there picks you up. It doesn't make any sense. You wouldn't be able to find no drivers, and I think that'll end up hurting finding chargers for that, just for that reason, because you're wasting everybody's time, money, and go down the list. It's not efficient for them either, by the way. Not necessarily the best charger is actually showing up to pick that damn thing up. So I'm going to continue doing it. I'm going to do some more videos similar to this, because I've tried a couple different things. I've tried it in the city. I'm going to give you some free advice on that. I've had real good luck. Something I'm going to do next of pretty much picking up this exact same birds every day and how to get rid of bad ones. And by that I mean, if there's a particular area that you're just doing, particular block, whatever it may be, I have found out that if you put the birds that are good, that you could charge to 100% every day, and that when you go to pick them up, they're not actually ridden that much, because every day you go pick the same birds up 3 days in a row, just as an experiment, for example. So I intentionally leave the good, quote unquote, good birds are easy to charge, easy to make money on, in a particular area that I know they're not ridden very much, and they're not as easy accessible as some of the other ones. And then just to get rid of the quote unquote bad ones I know I can't charge, I keep losing money. I've did that too. I actually picked up the same quote unquote bad ones 3 or 4 times, where I'm stuck with this damn thing. I'm just tired of fucking seeing it. I just pay them $3 to take this thing somewhere else, and that's eventually what I did. On my route, the few times I had to go drop them off and my usual spot's taken, I said, okay, I got to go a little bit further. I'm taking every one of these damn 1% ones that won't hold a fucking charge. Why they won't take them on the street, I don't know. I'm not the only one who can't charge these damn things, fully anyways, and get paid for them, but the way their app looks at it is you're able to charge 80%, they make a little bit of money on it, they're paying you half to charge it, they don't care as long as they're making some money on it. It's a business thing, I see their side of it too, so I'm not beating them up on that. That's the same way I would do it, as long as I make some money on that damn thing, I leave it out there until the damn wheels are falling off that bitch. That's for another video. So hit the subscribe button. I'm gonna do it probably for at least another week. I've got more chargers. So I'm going to ramp up. I'm not going out tonight to do it. It's a Saturday. I don't have to come in town tomorrow. It takes me 20-30 minutes. I really lose money having to do a quote-unquote dry run to go back into the city. I don't live in the core of the city. If you do, it's a whole nother animal. If I actually lived in the city, if I made enough money, I'm going to go rent a place and go get 100 of these things at a time. But we'll see. I'm getting 3 more chargers from them. About once a week, I charge 20 birds. They can get paid for 20 of them, and that's another issue they have. Their app's not real. Their app's not real up to date as far as the way they double check you on how much you've charged it. Just for experiment reasons, for 3 or 4 days in a row, I intentionally charged 16 of them 100%, and I've never got paid on 16 of them. Today is the exact same thing. Last night I went and picked up 30 of them from 6th Street. It was hell too. Something going on down there. I paid $15 for parking down there. It's ridiculous. But I went down there and picked 30 of them up. Same thing. Me and my wife, I was looking at that. I'm going to show you some pictures on the app I've been taking screenshots of. Just for myself, to keep an accurate log of what's going on. But, in their defense, I haven't started emailing them, bitching, and hey, man, you didn't pay me for what I don't have time to talk to bitches, But just let you know, be cautious on that too. I charge intentionally, just as a case study, if you want to call it that, 3 days in a row, I intentionally charged 16 of them 100%. And there was a couple of the other ones when I had some extra time, I charged them a little bit too. The other 20 of them or whatever. But I haven't got paid on every time that I've charged 16 of them in a row. I've been getting paid on 12 of them. The other day I charged 16 of them fully charged, and that was the most they paid me on. Like 14 of them were 100%, something like that. So, and that's the weird thing is, although they won't pay you nothing, they'll say, yeah, you didn't charge at all. When I got a screenshot, I haven't. In their defense, I haven't started bitching. I got a screenshot. I picked it up at 20%, and that when I dropped it off, at 6:30 in the morning, my screen is saying, and I know I had to plug it in for 4 hours because I have a roster of the way I was plugging them in. just to kind of do a study on how long it takes to charge them before I start investing any money in this, you know. So I'll do some more videos on it. I'm gonna do some videos about getting these out of apartment complexes. I have some experience with that unrelated to this, plus and minus to getting them out of apartment complexes, and I'm gonna do some videos on that. If you're new to Texas, be very cautious doing it. Doesn't matter what race you are, doesn't matter what your political beliefs are, doesn't matter what level of income you have. In the state of Texas, maybe different somewhere else. State of Texas, you start getting in somebody's porch, somebody's patio, your ass getting blown away. Okay, I'm just gonna let you know right now. Don't even do it. Don't even start fucking with it. Your ass gonna get blown away. If you're new to Texas, I'm just welcome. You know, you're just to find out. But I'll keep you updated on this. I'm not gonna go out tonight. I'm gonna change strategies a little bit. Probably I may go out Sunday night. I don't know. Monday I will for sure. I gotta work all week next week, so Monday night I'll be back out there. I won't get my more chargers till Wednesday. I'm currently up to 12 chargers. I'll be getting 3 more on Wednesday. It'll be 15. So I'll be for sure getting 30 at a time, maybe 40. I'd like to do 50. You know, I'd like to just go and get 50, 60 of those things, but I don't think I have enough chargers, and I'm pretty much wore out with hauling around a bunch of fucking bird shit, basically. You know, I got 40 of these bitches in the back of a fucking truck, and let's say I do charge 25 of them, I'm getting paid for 20 of them at the most, you know, and so basically I'm just hauling around this fucking shit. I got a $500,000 hit per unit on riding around in the back of the damn truck, you know, and that's not something I'd recommend. So hit that damn subscribe button, and if you got any comments, leave them on the bottom. I'd love to hear them, whether they're positive or negative. If they're negative, at least make it funny. I'd appreciate it.